how's it going, guys? This is the Lore and Order podcast, episode 4, I believe, and today we're going to be talking about Overwatch, and as always, I'm Jack.
And I'm Anna.
And today we're going to be talking about all the things that make Overwatch such a great game, and I think also why it's become such a fan base that's almost like tackling... well, not quite League, I guess, but it's definitely getting up there. You know, they just had their esports thing.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's still going on. But yeah, so there's a lot that we're going to talk about with Overwatch because objectively it's just such a great game.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think a good diving board would be here? Characters, level designs, you know.
I want to kind of
gameplay.
start with... actually, before even all of that, just kind of their business model in general right now with the game. Because, you know, other stuff that's pretty easy to talk about, but I want to talk about how they're delivering the content for this game in a way that actually feels right. So when you first bought the game, it was like $40, or if you could buy $60 and you got some other stuff for other Blizzard games. And like $40 for like a AAA game, that's unheard of, pretty much.
Yeah, that's really
and
good.
Since then, they've pretty much the only other like money grabbing way they've been doing things is, you can spend real money to get loot boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, loot boxes. And which are only cosmetic changes to characters, which I love because so many companies are like, if you spend like this amount of money, you can get like these maps, Call of Duty in their old days. Or like if you spend this money, you could get this weapon that makes you really good, or you get this hero that makes you really good.
Right.
What they're doing is they pretty much, once you spend the base $40, you get all the content there is. Like the base content. You get all the characters, you get all the maps, you get all the play modes. It's not like there's like a door you hit and it's like, we need more money, give it to us. You're only giving them more money if you want to, which I love, because so many games can find other ways to be money grabbing where they could have made Doomfist like a character you have to spend like $10 on to get, but instead they're like, no, he is part of the game, we're going to continue on with this. So I just really love how they're doing that, and it makes it feel way more accessible to people. And it doesn't feel like, I'm just buying it now, so I'm never going to be able to catch up just because like I need to spend a whole bunch of other money to get all this other stuff. It's like, oh no, I am on the same page as everyone because everyone gets these characters.
Yeah.
Which is, fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree, and it's interesting too because the loot boxes have like, there's a lot of discussion about how they work, because for one thing, a lot of people for whatever reason thought that like the content you get is like chosen in the moment, as in like the algorithm like happens right then and there, where it's actually like Pokemon eggs where it's decided before you get the loot box. So a lot of people would try to like hoard them until the events and then start opening them and then realize like, oh, that's not actually how they work, which I think is again like just basic smart like planning on Blizzard's part, because you don't want people to cheat the system that kind of way, so that's always good. And what's interesting too is apparently in China they had to release, I think it was China, but they had to release the statistics for the drop rates, because technically it was like considered gambling or something, unless you I think the way that works is unless you reveal the statistics, it's like not legal gambling or something like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I don't know, like I think they're pretty fair for the most part. I know some people get pretty unlucky, but again, like just as a standard player up to level 50, I've gotten like at least maybe 5 or 6 legendary skins. Not necessarily for characters I use a lot, which is another discussion.
Right.
But like I think it's it's a fair shot, because you know what you're paying for, and like again. Yeah. Maybe there should be a way to grind for things you want, but at the same time, like I think it's a fair system, I do think there should maybe be an option to buy gold in the game too, just because the drop rates for gold doesn't seem very high, which I think is the one thing that they may consider fixing, because like after like 10 loot boxes, I maybe have like 500 gold, and that's considering like you only get 1 loot box per level, or 3 of them per
Yeah.
the arcade thing.
For a week.
Yeah, which is fine. I think that's a great incentive to play, because I mean that's mostly what I do is the arcade stuff, just because like I like quick play, but I like doing like random and total mayhem and things like
Yeah, I
that.
feel like quick play is like so serious. Like people take it way too serious.
Like, yeah, and it's like not even competitive. It's just like but it's still very like, I don't know. Like, I don't actually use I don't like use voice chat at all, because I don't like talking to random
Oh
strangers.
no.
But it is nice
Oh
because
no.
I have made friends, not like friends I talk to, but like I've had games where like you all stay as a team for like 5 games, and you're just like killing it, and then everyone's like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
good job guys, you're so good at, like, it's nice to have those moments, at least in the chat, where like I haven't encountered like the toxicity of like leaks so far. I know Overwatch can be that way sometimes, but as far as
Yeah.
I've encountered, it hasn't really even been that bad. Although I hate when like you have
Oh
like
yeah.
voice chat on accidentally, and you hear just like like all of a sudden randomly someone's just like say, yeah, you screwed up, or some 12-year-old kid like raging
Yeah.
on the thing, Call of Duty style. But you're right. I think so far um their business strategy for this has been very, very fair. And again, it is Blizzard, so like they do know what they're doing for sure. But you're right; they could have easily like screwed over Doomfist and been like, yeah, you pay $20 or $10, and which would again make things unfair. Because I'm surprised that like when they brought him in, they replaced they didn't have Total Mayhem, because I assumed like he was just too like OP to have
Oh yeah.
his cooldown times halved or whatever. But then they brought it back, and I was just like, this is awesome. And they even had the Doomfist, just all Doomfist deathmatch, or elimination, whatever it's called, which is really cool. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen it right now, but they actually have Lucio Ball right now, which is like Rocket League
Oh
essentially.
yeah, for the summer games.
Yeah, with Lucio, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, they do a lot of great, like, again, all this bonus. Well, I guess it's not really bonus content, but they put in a lot of work for things that like, um, like you do have the option to pay for, but you can also get just for free by playing. Like, those skins are
Yeah.
pretty incredible. They're not just like, well, I mean, obviously the first 4 color swaps, but like some of the details
Yeah.
they put in are just like incredible for like a third person game, mind you, where you're not even looking like at your character most of the time, like other people are, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, do you want to transition that into like characters or art style or something like that? Talking about
Yeah, I say
skins
we
and
go
whatnot.
into characters.
Yeah.
I say we go into characters because with that we have the comics.
Yeah. Oh yeah, characters. So I don't. Have you ever seen any of the extra credit videos about the Overwatch stuff? The
I
guy.
have not.
You should definitely then, because they talk a lot about character design and asymmetrical level design and character like animation and stuff like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is like a lot of what I remember and observe about this game is like, every character is like character design like perfection 101. Like they all have identifiable silhouettes. They all have designs that like incorporate who they are and what they do. Except for except for McCree, I still can't wrap my head around McCree. I don't know what your opinion on him is, but like, to me, he's just a generic cowboy. Like, I don't understand why he's there, or they have all these cool like unique
Right.
characters, and then I don't know. For me, McCree's just like, oh, it's a cowboy and he's got a revolver, and that's super cool, I guess. But I don't know. That's just me. Other than other than that, I think all the designs are pretty outstanding. Um, and
Yeah.
again, like it's nice to see like a diverse cast that actually makes sense. Like it makes sense that everyone from like
Oh,
the
yeah.
corners of the world would gather together. Like it doesn't just feel like, oh, we have like an Indian themed character because we needed one, or because we have 2 Australians. Like it makes sense that like all these people from different corners of the world with different like personalities, and like they feel very real because of how they're designed and what they do, and the voice work, which is also
yeah.
very incredible. And yeah, it's fantastic. character design. You know, like even in even in the movement in like the third person view, there's actually a lot going on. Like with Junkrat, you can actually see his like stutter because he has the the peg leg kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you notice with Roadhog, he actually he isn't jamming in bullets. He just shoves in like nails and stuff into his gun.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
he just.
Yeah, it's like a shotgun essentially.
Hopefully, I'll get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what else is there? Like you can see like Diva pressing like the triggers like a game control when she's firing. Just subtle nods like that. And the other thing is if you look at Junkrat, you can see that like his weapon is like built like haphazardly. It's like not very professional. So there are parts like rattling with every step and stuff like that. And with Bastion, a lot of his parts are like really, his gun is like really loose. It has like the scope is like hanging because he's like so old and like decrepit. So like when he steps like it like jiggles back and forth and makes like a clinking sound, and it's just good like attention to detail like that really makes it like you can tell Blizzard has some top animators working around the clock to do all these cool emotes, and there's just so much personality
nice to see
every
stuff
character.
like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let's see what else.
Well, I also just like the comics they release for all the characters. Well, not
yeah.
all of them, but like you get some more story in it because if you look at the game, the story makes no sense for the game.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because of
all the characters.
It's like, why are there 2 McCrees?
Yeah, or like how Talon has like 4 people, and then the rest is just like Overwatch people. Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I appreciate it because again, it gives like substance and motivation to the characters, knowing that they have like lives outside of the game. Like if you look at like Team Fortress 2, it's like why would you ever care about like what the heavy guy or is like what his deal is? He's just a persona almost. Like I know the scout is like from Boston and has the accent and stuff, and that's all well and good, but it's like you can believe that like obviously Diva has like a life outside of Overwatch because she, for one, is a pro gamer, and two, you can see posters of her in some of the maps, which I think is absolutely brilliant, and how like well designed.
I love those.
They incorporate the characters into like the maps. Like you can see designs for like Lucio's concerts and Diva's streams or whatever, and yeah, it's pretty incredible. And again, like
I also really.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say like there was like the whole I forget. I'm really bad with names for the map, but Oh
yeah, I'm bad too.
There was one for it just had like Doomfist, like his fist on display. It's gonna be on display soon, and I started noticing that at one point while I was playing. I'm like, has that always been here? It might have been, but it might also not have been. And if it wasn't there before, it was because like, oh, we're gonna release Doomfist soon. Because I was like, when I noticed it, it was like a little before they actually like released the trailer for him.
Mm-hmm.
So they could like his fist was going to be on display soon. So I thought that was kind of cool. Just like I love the little posters and get the tiebacks to the comics and the shorts. Like the very first short you see.
Oh yeah, with
like to like announce it. Yeah, it's like Tracer was there, and it's the 2 kids, and I think Winston was there. So it was like kind of like a throwback to that, which was cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the shorts are like just so fantastically animated. Like it's like Pixar quality for something they didn't even have to really do. Like I showed the Hanzo one to my to the kids at camp, and they were just like, "Whoa, this is so cool! Like, who are these guys?" And it's just a robot or a cyborg rather, and like a a samurai with a bow, I guess, and it's just the coolest thing because it's like, dang, look at these character designs, look at these voice actors going, Ryu go, go. It's great, so good.
Oh man, I really love the Doomfist one just because it wasn't like, I love the 3D ones, but since this was like 2D and kind of anime-ish, but the fight scenes were, I'm like watching it and I'm like crying because it was so beautiful.
Yeah, they did a really good job. I think I think that studio is doing something. I can't remember what it was, but they have like another like major thing lined up. I think it's like a Chinese studio maybe. I don't think it's Japanese, but yeah, they did a really good job with that 2D one, which I liked. I like that change in style, just because it's so easy to just be like, oh, we already have 3D character models. Let's just make another 3D one. Where instead it's just like, yeah, well, let's make it 2D again, and make it more like a comic, which I thought was really cool. Great introduction for Doomfist.
Oh, it's just so good.
Yeah,
it was so good.
Yeah. I think they really did a good job with him too, because at first he seemed like he was gonna be really overpowered, but like he actually has a very low amount of health, so he's actually not very like, he's obviously not durable, even though he has a passive that he grants, like he gets shields per punch he lands or whatever. Like he's actually he's as vulnerable to sniping as Tracer is, so like he's actually not like supremely overpowered. Even in Total Mayhem, he can definitely overtake a match for sure if people are good with him. And I think the hype has kind of died down because I've seen a lot less of him. But yeah, they did a really good job. And I like how you can combo a lot of his moves, and again, he seems like a good addition, if not for breaking the pattern they were going for, because they should have, I think the next one they should have had is like a defensive character, which he really isn't. Although that's the other thing, is Overwatch's like classes don't always make a lot of sense,
Nope.
Yeah, because like in support, 4 of the characters can heal, but then you have Symmetra, who's actually really kind of a defensive character. Like
she can add shields, but so can Torb. So does that make Torb a like support character too?
Yeah, it's kind of the same effect. But again, what people don't realize too is like Torb is a defensive character, but his gun is actually really powerful. So you can play a really like offensive Torbjorn, and I understand maybe it's like just to kind of simplify it for maybe people who aren't familiar with like, or maybe for newer players or something, just to like kind of I don't know, it might have been the only option just because all the characters are very like unique. Like Junkrat is by no means a defensive character, like most people would play an offensive Junkrat. It's just like he can be good for stopping a bunch of people and against a group and stuff like that. So I think it's maybe just hard for them to kind of find a coherent like role for anyone, because like it's like obviously like Reaper is like an attack person, but like Reaper can just as easily defend a base. That's the whole point.
It's all in how you play them. It's really the player that kind of defines it.
Exactly.
So I play Junkrat for everything.
Oh yeah, Junkrat is
for everything.
Fantastic.
He is my precious trash baby, and I love him so much.
Yeah, is he your only main, or do you like the other characters?
I try to play as many characters as I can for different situations and all that. Because like Overwatch really focuses on like don't main characters. Like you should try to play them all. So I've been trying to play them all, and he has the most hours in him for sure. But like there's a couple, like I like Soldier. I like there's pretty much like there's only a couple characters that I don't like playing, and that's it. It's like I like to play all of them, but characters I don't like. I don't really like playing Tracer or Mercy or Symmetra, Widowmaker. Let's see. I'm not a big Torb fan, or Winston and May. But literally the rest of them, I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, I definitely...
Put me in, coach.
I definitely agree. I'm more of a flexible player, too, as they say. Even though I think my top 3 are probably, for most hours, are Reaper, Reinhardt, and Lucio.
I love Lucio.
Yeah, Lucio specifically, because it's like... with Mercy, it gets really boring, because it's like, you're really just like, you're clicking this person, and you're clicking this person,
and then run away.
Yeah, and half the time, like, they're in the middle of a battle, so it's like, I can't approach you, because everyone's just gonna, kill me. And, most Mercies get, like, the card vote, because it's like, oh, you heal so much damage, and it can be rewarding, I suppose, when you're, like, saving people. But with Lucio, I like the act, it's like, you're just passively healing, and then, like, you can actually, fire and do damage. And Lucio's sound gun the blasting is just it's so much fun, especially at, like
Oh, I love it.
on the Dorado map when like right if you're defending right when the characters come out you can just blast them off like there's like a cliff right there.
Yes, I
And
love
sometimes
that.
yeah you can get play the game that way, which is amazing. But yeah, I'm kind of the same way with characters I don't like to play. Like I cannot figure out Tracer for the life of me. I don't understand how
Right?
people freaking aim while they're zooming around. And like I get that makes her like hard to hit, but like I just like I can't aim. I'm just like oh zip, and then it's like oh crap, I'm like losing health. Should I press E or not? And it's like, but you know
Yeah.
she's got 150 health, so like if she gets one hit, she's like bam, she's dead.
Yeah.
I don't like McCree, even though I know he's like a good counter to like Far, because I think his deal is that his bullets don't actually travel. Like it's like an insta hit kind of thing when you fire them. Unlike some of the other bullets in the game, I guess I'm like a sniper for Widowmaker.
Right.
I'm mixed about Widowmaker because like when you're doing good, it's like amazing, but like you either
It's
like
so easy to
you're
do
either getting
bad.
all the snipe kills or you're just getting wrecked because like people will
Yeah.
find you. And I like that she has like a machine gun option to like
Yeah,
defend herself. I think that's really
absolutely.
cool. And it's again it's amazing when you're getting snipes. But the other thing is like you really have to like know the vantage points of the map because there are some maps where it's like impossible for her to find like a place to hide. And what I find
Yeah.
interesting too is Blizzard does like a really good job of making sure you can't like stand on anything you're not supposed to. I realize, you know,
Yeah.
like with Far, you can't sit like on a. There's no place for you to sit up in the sky,
Yeah.
like on a roof or anything, and snipe. Like they expect you to keep
Yeah.
flying. Like all the roofs like automatically make you fall in Eichenwald or whatever it's called. And yeah, it's interesting how they design all the maps like specifically like for a character. Like when you're at uh what's the whatever that city that the Omnix guy got sniped, the Australian one or
Oh.
something.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez.
It's like
I'm so bad with names.
yeah, it's somewhere in Australia. No, it's
I know. No, the when he gets sniped, he's in the UK, I think,
yeah, something like that.
because Australia is Mad Max land.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't well, whatever it was called. Like that is some great sniping points for Widowmaker, and that map is very much designed for her. But it is interesting how a lot of the maps like do require
King's
certain
Row.
characters. King's Row, that's what it is. Yeah. Um, and I don't know. I've picked up more characters that I didn't used to like. Like I used to not like Symmetra, but because I always found that with Symmetra, like whenever I place turrets, they always get destroyed immediately and never kill anybody.
Yeah.
But whenever I encounter a Symmetra, it's just like there were 6 turrets. They're just like all of a sudden, bam, I'm dead. You know, like
Oh yeah.
it kind of obviously depends on the player, but other than that, I don't think there's a lot I don't really enjoy. You know, like I know a lot of people hate Bastion, but like he is counterable. You know.
Yeah.
There
and
are
it used to be a lot worse too.
Yeah, yeah. And I
He
know
used to have a shield.
yeah, they used to, and they I know they nerfed Roadhog too, and then buffed him again. I think because Roadhog was kind of an interesting case because like, he's obviously tanky and he has like a healing thing, but I think at first they nerfed his damage and then they gave him like, one more bullet or something.
Yeah.
And again, he's kind of like I don't think he's like played as much, but um, for the most part, it is like great to see a balance to all these characters. And I think what you're saying with like they don't want you to main anyone, which again I love that feature how you can switch during the match. I think that's
Yes, thank God.
yeah one of the most like fun options of a game, so you're not locked to anyone. And again, like I think what people don't understand too is, people who play it kind of like just any other shooter don't realize that the characters are kind of made to counteract each other.
Yeah.
You know, and I think there's like a understanding that you should never really nerf a character if you can. Like you should always just buff the characters around them to like countermeasure. You know, like if Doomfist is OP, you should like buff a character who is meant to counter Doomfist, right? Because
Yeah,
if you're just nerfing, you're just taking away like what you already made instead of just improving it. You know, like
Yeah.
it's
Well,
kind
it's
of
a lot of number balancing, really, because
yeah.
like when you're testing a character out, because I don't know like how much they test these characters, but it has to be a decent amount. Because when they come out, they're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you have to realize that like you're not going to have every single test case known to man. So when you have players like complaining about like, oh man, this happened, and you can like kind of see what's happening, or watching like streams and being like, oh well, this person's like using this character in a way we never expected them to.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to actually try and see like what numbers we can change, because from my experience, numbers really mean nothing.
Yeah.
Numbers are fake. It's all an illusion. So like you're trying to make it feel the least worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're really just trying to make it like not hurt as much. So it's really interesting to balance that kind of thing, because like I've dealt with like the speed of cars and like turning radius and like sent like different numbers, and they all aren't real.
Yeah.
Like at one point we set the speed to 1 billion just because we could.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like, oh, it was there and wasn't there. It was a decent speed because numbers don't really matter. So I think it's kind of both, where you have a character, you're like, oh man, they do a lot of this, this, and this, which you're not supposed to. So we're going to bring this down a little bit, but we're going to bring up like this for another character up a bit. So it kind of meets somewhere in between. So it's not just like, okay, we're just going to like, okay, this person is like really OP, so time to raise up everyone else. Because is if we change it too much, it will like kind of ruin the feel for like players.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you're gonna have people complain regardless, but there would be more upset if you drastically change the character. So if you just like change them, like, you know, bring one down a little bit, bring some other ones up a little bit, and kind of meet in the halfway point, it gives it a kind of more a smoother transition to make it feel like you didn't really change much. It's like you don't notice the change, and that's the best type of change.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like
yeah.
I mean, like you'll notice it being like, oh, this feels better, but it's not just like this feels completely different. You just want to be like, oh, okay, it's like a gentle hill for balancing.
Yeah, it's a very good point. And I do like I think this is right, but I heard that I never like look at numbers of like damage and stuff, but I'm pretty sure that Doomfist only does 100 damage with his charged up fist, and then 50 more if they hit a wall, which is interesting. Which means like that he can't one hit KO Tracer, like unless she hits a wall. So it's like, they're not making it so it's like, you know, it's like super, you know, powerful. But the other thing is like that's just, you know, that's just his one attack. You know, he still has 4 shots and an uppercut and like I don't even know what the E is. It's like an arc jump fist hit kind of thing. But like, the point is like you're supposed to like combo people. So not any one of his moves is just like, you know, too strong or anything. Which I think is kind of interesting because like from a certain viewpoint you think like, oh, like he can just one hit KO Tracer because it's Tracer, right? But it's actually, unless she like hits a wall, like it won't fully kill her kind of thing. Or at least people with 100,
real dead.
Yeah, people with 150 HP. And again, like there are ways to counteract Doomfist. Like again, he's very squishy, so it's like they definitely know what they're doing. You know, balancing out all this stuff and characters, which again is not an easy thing to do, but it also helps when you have, you know, 20 characters and not like, I don't know, 100 some like League of Legends or something. Or
yeah, League is kind of crazy with like, oh, we're going to have all these characters, but like unless you buy them with actual money, like you can't play them all.
Yeah.
I know. Well, that kind of stuff makes me a little upset. I mean, sure, the game is free. But still.
Well, and like, you know, there's more of like a clear tier for League, whereas like I know there's obviously a tier list for Overwatch, but like I feel like all the characters like none of them are theoretically like, you know, better than each other that people find like in other games. like obviously people make these lists, but like I feel like you could literally be any character and be like good with them just because of how they're
Yeah.
designed. And like I know people like hate May, but again, she's not invincible. Like there are ways to
Yeah, I
counteract
feel
her.
great when I kill May.
Yeah,
It's just a personal vendetta against her because
exactly.
Noah plays her all the time and then makes puns.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of see red and charge after May's. Like I just
Yeah,
assume every May player is Noah, and he's done this. This is why I charge them. He knows
exactly.
what he did. And there's also as of I think April, 136 champions in league.
Oh wow, that's
That is
insane.
too many.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives you like a large variety of playing,
Mm-hmm.
but again, like there are tiers. There's characters that are clearly like better
Oh
than
yeah.
every other character.
Yeah.
Unlike Overwatch, like it's really like some characters are weaker to other ones, but it also depends on how good you are at playing a game like this and how well you understand them.
Yeah.
Like in League, it's like if you're clear, like let's say you have like someone who's playing like let's say like a top tier character or something, and you're like 2 tiers below them, you're going to lose every time.
Oh yeah.
Like there's literally no way you can win. That's how the game was built,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting. And then you have the
Yeah.
whole like it's such a toxic community for it. So
Yeah. And I think the fan or not the fan base the player count is like it's pretty substantial at the moment for League. I remember I looked up the numbers and I don't remember what they were, but like I think it's even more so than Rocket League, which is really like skyrocketed recently. No pun
yeah.
intended.
Well, I just see I'm doing a very. Okay, Riot Games. Oh, Forbes, come on.
Oh, of course.
Forbes, don't. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna read the tiny little bit they show me on Google.
Mm-hmm.
Riot Games reveal League of Legends has 100 million monthly players, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But the numbers like that are kind of weird. Where it's like you can see how many like what does monthly mean? Is it just mean they logged in once, and it's like okay that's a player, or is it like consecutive? Like they have to play a certain amount of times during a month to be considered like to count.
Yeah, that's a hard one to kind of measure for sure.
And also since it's a game that's been around for way longer. It was released in 2009, so like 8 years. Like having 100 million, especially since it's a major esports game, having like a lot of players in other countries for sure have a huge influence on why there's so many players of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
for
then I
sure.
think Overwatch, I saw a number, it was like 50 million copies. Copies sold.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was like that was how many, and that was across 3 systems of PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. So,
Yeah.
and it's a year old. So
Yeah, that's pretty good. For sure.
yeah, and they always find ways to bring people back in with like new maps, new characters, events, skins. Like
Mm-hmm.
they find a way to kind of keep people back. Like I'll go on like times where I'm like I don't really feel like playing any Overwatch for a while, but then I saw the summer event happen, and then Dad 76 skin was 100% released, and I need it in my life
Yeah.
so badly. So I'm going to probably start playing it again soon, just so I can try my best to maybe get that skin or get enough coinage to get that skin.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I really appreciate what they did too with like the female characters. Again, like they have so much. Like another is that whole Tracer scandal thing with the pose, but like for the most part, like for a summer, like again they kept Widowmaker's outfit so modest. It's like They had all
She's
opportunities
at
to be
the
like,
beach.
yeah, and it's like they
It's just a nice bikini at the beach with a little
yeah.
thingy across.
Other
It
other
looks
developers would
lovely.
have been like, yo, give her a string bikini and like, make her boobs twice as big. But in this case, they were just like, no, we're just gonna. She just wants to relax. She's not there to show off. She's just like, I'm
She
tired.
wants to relax.
I'm tired of like being the seductress and sniper, and I just wanna, hang out and relax. I do like McCree Lifeguard too. I think that's really cool.
I love that. It's pretty fun. But
He also
no, my
has a
favorite
flare
one.
gun instead of like a real gun or something like that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I am in love with 76 Summer Skin.
Oh yeah. He's also got like I think his healing thing is like a soda can now, or it's like
Yes,
diet
it is.
soda. Yeah.
It is a diet soda can.
Yep. It's so amazing. And he's got socks and sandals. Classic
No.
guy.
No, what's even better is my friend Sean, he did a Dad 76 costume for Toracon.
Mm-hmm.
And like he had a Hawaiian shirt with 76 on the back, and then this gets revealed, and I'm
It's
just
like,
like,
oh, yeah.
Sean, you called it. You
Yeah.
did it, dude. Like he also had the socks with sandals, like cargo shorts. Like he pretty much had this entire outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Except for I think he was wearing like a number one dad t-shirt under the Hawaiian shirt. He didn't have the apron, but he had the mask on, and like he had a fanny pack full of candy that he would give to his kids, his good kids, if they were on the point. He would go up to them and say, are you a good kid and do you stay on the point? Yes, I do. Well, good. And also his rifle has a salt shaker that says assault rifle.
Yep. Yep.
It is this dad jokes, and it's beautiful.
It is amazing. Yeah. And speaking.
So I guess we could talk about skins.
Yeah, skins are. Skins are pretty amazing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm just like trying to think of where do I even start? So in terms of legendaries of what I've just like gotten, I have, for Mercy, I have the Devil and the Valkyrie one, which are very cool.
Ooh.
I have to say, yeah. For Torbjorn, I have the Pirate one, which is awesome. I got the Islander one recently for Roadhog, which is also very cool.
Oh nice.
Yeah, and I think that might be it. I've gotten some good whatever below legendary is, like the frog one for Winston and the chrome one for D.Va is cool. And again, but the one thing I understand that like it's the base skins, where they have the 75 ones, which are just the color swaps. But I don't know, for some reason, just in my ideology, like they just chose like the worst colors like for everyone. Like I hate all of Genji's like color swaps, Like
Yeah, I'm not a big
they
fan
choose the
of
worst shade of
those.
yellow, the worst shade of green, the worst shade of blue, and the worst shade of red. Like it's all like light colors.
Right.
Like that's why I bought the chrome skin, because it looks so much better than just like like a Cinnabar, I think it's called for his red skin. It just like
Right.
even for Zarya, like I only have the color swaps, but they all are just like like I don't really enjoy these. But again, like the fact that they dress them up and like change the applications of some of their weapons too,
Yeah.
like the Roadhog's like hook is like a fishing hook when he's like the Islander
Yeah.
shark one, like they changed the
Design of it.
everything to match like what it is, which is just again very very impressive. Like they're not just like color swapping everything, like they actually have like well designed, thought-provoking kind of like, let's make Junkrat like a jester kind of character, and everything
Or
about
the
him like
scarecrow one.
everything about him like looks like a jester. It's not just like they gave him the outfit, it's like they changed his weapon and
Yeah, it's fantastic.
yeah, they
It's-
just designed everything really really well. And again, I love most of the skins. I think they're very. I love the new Sun Wukong. What's his name? Monkey guy. I just blanked.
Winston.
Winston. Thank you. Yeah, I love his monkey one. I wish there was a way where you could like grind to get certain ones, but like
Yeah.
I understand like why they keep it random.
Yeah, it keeps it like in a safer area for Well, it'd be kind of cool if you could just be like, oh, well, you can spend like maybe it'd be like a special boxes that you would buy, and you can choose like 5 characters
Yeah.
for it, and then like it only focus on those characters to get items or something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
It'd be just interesting to see like if they were to do a loot box change, because I know like again a lot of people have been complaining about them.
Yeah.
But in the end, it doesn't truly matter, just because they are optional.
Yeah, they're.
It's not like it affects the game at all. So.
Yeah, they're not a necessary part of it. So like, there's no real reason to kind of like, it doesn't hurt anything. And again, it is kind of cool. Like, I think they're a fair deal too, because it's like what? It's like $1 per box, and then like 5 for 5, and then 10 for 9, or maybe like 11 for 10 or something like that, and then 40 for something. I don't remember, but it's actually not too bad, you know.
Yeah. I spent money on it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of like there are a lot of YouTubers who have like I'm gonna drop $100 and open all these boxes, and it could be kind of cool to see what they get, to see how the system works.
Yeah, especially the odds. I remember for an event, I got a couple of loot boxes, and I proceeded to get the same like spray 3 times. I think I got it twice in one box somehow. Yeah, and it's like it hurt me like real hard.
I know they increased the reward for duplicates now, and I think they're trying to. I think they reduced, if they haven't yet, the percentage of getting like a duplicate, because it is kind of like, kind of like a punch in the face. It's like, oh, there's that other spray that I don't even use because they're just sprays.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's pretty good the way it is. They can obviously make it better, but again, they do such a good job with all the skins and the seasonal ones that it's like, look at like Mercy's. It's like freaking what, Goddess Nike or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And you have the Junkrat rugby player.
Oh yeah.
No, cricket player.
Yeah, because it's got the cricket for the stump now. It's like, geez, like they design these guys so well.
I'm so in love with. I got the Genji Common Rider one.
Oh yeah, that one's awesome.
I love it so much. I don't even play him that much, but I'm like, I need this in my life.
Yeah, I love that so much.
So it's great.
Yeah, I really like I got Hanzo's like wolf skin, which is really cool.
Ooh.
Yeah,
nice.
I really like Hanzo a lot, even though like I suck at sniping with arrows, but whatever.
Oh yeah,
it's a cool character.
I'm a decent sniper. I'm just real bad at Overwatch sniping.
Oh yeah. Well,
like if I'm in like almost any other game and you're like, okay, we need you to snipe, okay, and I'm just like as far away as possible doing trick shots, I'm like, this is enjoyable. And Overwatch comes, I'm like, I can't shoot.
Yeah.
Outside of a barn.
Do you use mouse and keyboard, or do you use controller for? Okay. Because I know some people swear by a controller. I'm just like, how? How could you possibly swear by a controller? It's so hard. Just because, like, well, for one, I have kind of like a bad controller. Like, it's not bad, but like the control stick is very like you can't just like push it slightly and the character will move slightly, or the aim or whatever. It's like easy to like push or it's not kind of thing, which is hard to do because like you can't aim like in a specific spot. You just kind of have to guesstimate it. Where it's like with the keyboard and mouse, it's just like bam, my mouse is here, my character's here. Which is why I actually thought motion controls for shooter games are actually the best way to play. Like I used to have Call of Duty World at War on the Wii, and that was my favorite way to play because I was like, I can only point where I want to shoot. And again, people harp on the Wii for having bad motion controls, but they worked fine for games like that. It was like you point it where you want it and it's there. So like I can inch it like slightly to the left instead of pushing the control stick, and then all of a sudden it's like all the way to the left kind of thing,
Well, that's like with Splatoon. You can use you use the sticks normally, but then you can use the motion controls for fine tuning.
Yeah.
And like at first I was a little like about it, and then I turned it off, and I'm like, I can't play this game literally at all now.
Yeah, I hear. So I'm like, the
turn it back on.
Actually use motion controls for the esports and stuff in Japan. That's like the way to play.
It feels so good. So like really like controllers, or if you get them right, like you can get them right. And I was I didn't even realize how much I used the motion control while playing Splatoon.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was just like, because I guess when you're playing a game, like, I know when I would play, like, racing games or whatnot, like, with the PlayStation, like, I would, like, move the controller around when I did things. And it did nothing, but it was just, like, how I played, just because, like, my mind's like, oh, I'm going to do this, so, like, my hands just automatically did that. So when I go and play Splatoon, like, it actually matters, and it helps me.
Yeah.
I think I killed an entire team in Splatoon once, and then just sat on the little tower thing for ranked mode and like drove it home.
Yeah.
So like it'd be interesting if like somehow you could do that with Overwatch if you had the motion control, because then I might be able to play that game with a controller.
Yeah. Especially like that person playing with the baguette. That was amazing. That was so cool.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
It's so dumb, and then he's just getting headshots, and he's like, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, so actually
Fantastic.
this would be a good transition, talking about like how the game plays in general. Like, do you think
Oh yeah.
the Team Fortress style payload and objective based is like, you think it works pretty well, or do you think like it should be more like a I guess
like
not
that a
not
lot
be more
more.
like it, but yeah, like, because like it's obviously better, but I'm saying like, I notice a lot of people play it like it's a team deathmatch, which is the worst because
Yeah.
it's like no one's ever on the objective and doing their job kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it's hard. I think it's hard for people to adjust to. It's just the main thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like, it's.
Yeah.
I saw one like video where like this Genji was just like hovering around the payload for like a minute while everyone else was just fighting, and then the other team finally noticed him. But he was just there for a solid minute, just like
Yeah.
no one was paying attention. They were all just fighting over like some random place, and then he was just like, "Well, I'm just gonna move the payload then, because that's what you're supposed to do." You
Yeah.
know?
I think in arcade mode you could definitely play around with like like let's just turn off the objectives and all that and just let everyone kill each other for like 10 minutes
Well,
or need a certain amount of kills.
there's a team deathmatch they're adding now. I think I don't know if it's all.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if it's exclusively with Reaper, but like he was on the promo for it, so it looks like they're doing
Interesting.
an option like that. Yeah, which should be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be a fun mode to put in arcade because like for me I strictly only play arcade mode. Like I used to play quick play and then it's like, oh wait, there's arcade mode. This is more fun because it's dumb.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just a fun. It's not, you're not worried about how well you're doing. Especially, that's why I love random. It's because like I don't feel bad if like I'm doing bad with a character, because it's just like, oh well, I'm randomly picking, so it doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, I agree. But I think I think they're fresh takes on the shooter genre for sure.
Oh yeah, like I just like objective based games where it's like, okay, I need to move the payload or I need to capture this point, just because in old games like Call of Duty, I was the worst. I would die like so many times, never get kills, but also I was using controller at the time, so I couldn't really aim.
Right.
But like when it came to like, oh, okay, we have objectives, we have things to do, I did so much better. Like just because like I wasn't the main focus. The main focus wasn't, oh, let's just kill this person because we've seen it. It's like, okay, we need to capture the point. Oh, this person's coming, now I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
So it's just, I find it to be a really nice mode or like version of the gameplay to have it be a like objective based game, and then you have the elimination one where, or like it's like 1v1 or 3v3. Like I enjoy those just because it's like an interesting like teamwork kind of thing with
Yeah.
people you've never met. I mean I've had one experience with these two guys, and we had like a five winning streak, like with like 5 different teams.
Yeah.
We just kept winning, and somehow it's just like, how are we doing this? We're not even communicating. It's just like we know what to do and we're doing well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's an interesting like mode, especially since it's newer.
Yeah, I think it works really well, to be honest, and I think it also encourages like, yeah, because if it were a team deathmatch, there'd be no point in like switching characters, because it's just like who can get the most kills, where it's like
Yeah.
Now the classes make sense because it's like, again, it's like Team Fortress 2, where it's like you actually need a reason for all these characters to do their job. And again, I like how every map is kind of designed around like, um, like I like how the what's it called, the snow place, not the one where you jump out of the plane, but the one where you have that one point, and then there's that one point in like the cargo machinery area. I don't know how to describe it, but like,
Nepal.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, that like I like how there's two objectives for that one. You know, you can kind of like,
Yeah.
if you lose one, you can still make a comeback. And again, like um, I love matches that are really close, but a lot of times I get frustrated if that's not the case. Like, there's nothing worse in Overwatch than just like losing, like, drastically. You know, like not even
Yeah.
touching the payload, not even like getting it past the first checkpoint. Like,
Yeah.
Overwatch is definitely more fun, obviously, when like it's a close match, even if you lose. But there's nothing worse than like a team that just isn't doing their job and then you just like lose. Like when
Oh,
you have that one
it's
match where it's like
horrible.
it's so close and like you just get the payload to the, to the end, but like the match ends or whatever and it's overtime. Like those are great because just like, wow, we did like, our best. But then you just have those matches where people just don't know what they're doing, and it's like, again, I
Yeah.
consider myself a patient person, but like in those cases, I'm just like, come on, like, move the goddamn payload, do this, stop doing this. Like half the time, I get more frustrated is like I'm trying to do the objective, and there's like five, enemy members there, and my teammates are just nowhere in sight. I'm just like, guys, like,
Yep.
what the hell are you doing? Like we're trying to do an objective here, like just people don't listen, I guess. But
It's the worst.
yeah, but other than that, it's a lot of fun. There's a reason I keep coming back to it
Yeah.
every ish night. We definitely need to like group up when we get back to school with AJ
Oh, yeah,
and
definitely.
Noah and form a quality team and see how we do with like actually communicating. Because I don't actually talk to anyone for the most part. Like I do the chat,
Oh, yeah, no.
but like I don't feel like voice chatting with a bunch of strangers for the most part.
I've only had like one team that I kind of wish I did a voice chat with, just because they were the greatest team of all time. They
Oh,
were
yeah.
super nice. We were really like, me and another person, we were both support characters and we're healing. And I'm just like, we were talking to one another, and I said thank you to someone for like, I think they saved me. And they're like, oh, thank you to you and this other person for being our awesome healers and keeping us alive this entire time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
everyone's like agreed.
When
And
you
like
get-
we were just talking to one another. It was the greatest feeling in the world.
Oh yeah, when you get the nice Overwatch players, like I had one the other day where someone was like, "It's like everyone, you guys are really good at Overwatch," and I was just like, "Oh, thank you! Like I feel so special." Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Or like when you have the person who's like, hey, I've never played this character before and I really want to try it out, so if I'm bad, I'm really sorry. And respond back, this is for fun, kid. Just do what you like.
yeah,
Like,
it's
if we
just a
lose, we
game.
lose. It
It's
doesn't
just a
matter. Just have fun. And
Yeah.
then occasionally I get into fights with people who are like being mean to other players. I'm like, no, I'm not allowing this today.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. Yeah. So I guess that gets us to our final point, which we didn't really talk about, is the art style and the graphics of Overwatch, which I think
Yeah.
are pretty amazing because having two computers, one with like a shitty graphics card and one with the best, like I played Overwatch for the most part on like the lowest settings, which still looks very good. Like obviously it's very low resolution, but like they make all the textures and like the lighting like optimizable for both parties, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But then of course when I jump to the highest like epic settings, like it looks like a completely different game and looks so amazing. And I think I told you this the other day or whatever podcast, but like AJ was
Yeah.
telling me like textures and like areas don't have certain details in like the lower
Right.
resolution settings, which is kind of interesting because it's like they don't actually just like make them low res, like they actually just don't have them in the game, which is actually kind of an interesting idea.
Yeah, I like that. It's a really creative way of like saving room.
Yeah, and again, like it's Blizzard, so it's gonna look top notch, but just like the way the game is like very cartoony and like
Very stylized.
stylized. I love the environments because they all look like they were like hand sculpted, and all the shading is very simple, and
Yeah.
I think it's really all about just the whatever lighting engine they're using, which nowadays I think a lot of games are going back to like not going back but using like I think it's called like HDR lighting, where the lighting is coming from like the sky dome essentially
Right.
from like
Right.
the I don't really know how it works, but that's kind of the whatever engine they're using, if it's their own or
It's probably their own, considering it's Blizzard and they
Yeah.
have money to make their own engine.
yeah, whatever lighting quality they get is really the driver behind that game. Because I think if you look, you can look at some of the models, like obviously they're all online, but a lot of them like don't look that great. It's really just like the lighting and the texturing that makes it like look really really nice, and a lot of normal maps for the detail
Oh, yeah.
and stuff like that.
Well, I just love this one post of the ZBrush one where it's like, okay, here are the models, and we did all the detail work with like ZBrush to make it smooth and look like good. I love it because
Yeah.
it's like you see these models naked, basically.
Yeah, ZBrush is great. I like watching the some of the creators do like little not how to, but the sculpting videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I might make a character in ZBrush, so I might actually look at some of those and learn from them, because it's nice that they have like all that GDC stuff about how they do things.
Oh yeah, that the GDC Vault and their YouTube channel is super helpful. You learn a lot.
But yeah, I think again, just the way the game looks, it's just like they definitely kept in mind like all kinds of computers and players, and I was just impressed that I could run it like that without it being like, again, I've had very few lag situations, and I don't have the best internet, nor do I have like obviously the best computer, but again, like
Right.
just the way they were able to maintain like optimizing all the textures and the lighting detail depending on your computer is just, it's very impressive how they were able to do that. Like, which again, like a game like League, which is way more low poly and way more like low quality textures, and from a higher point of view, like they're almost bird's eye. Again, like just the amount of like lag issues, and like I used to get down to like 9 frames per second and stuff when I was playing, and that was at RAT with like good internet. So like
Yeah.
again, like just as a comparison, it's impressive how they're able to keep up like that standard of quality in their servers and things like that, even
Oh, yeah.
while all this stuff is going on. Like even on epic settings, like I still don't have any lag, and it's just like, this is incredible.
Yeah. Like the only issues I've had recently is because the Wi-Fi in my house and where my room is don't really agree with one another, so I have really spotty connection in here. But if I play in my living room or at my kitchen table, I have the like smoothest connection. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've also had like, I remember freshman year, my horrible laptop that I think I punched in front of you guys at one point.
Yeah,
Probably.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember trying to play League on that thing, and I'm like, nope. It was physically impossible for it.
Yeah, I think I do remember that actually.
Like, you could not, like, I know it sounds like I'm ripping on League a lot, and it is because I am. But, like, it's amazing to me how, like, a game like that, like, is supposed, in my opinion, it should be able to run on almost any machine at this point.
Oh yeah.
Like, it should be able to run on a tablet, like an Android tablet, like take it anywhere, which would be kind of cool. But, like, it doesn't. It has a lot of issues with connection and also just like running. Like, I had better luck with Smite on my horrible laptop than I ever did with League. Like, I was able to play Smite, and that game was like a lot more because it was third person but kind of closer up, and then you're in an arena. Because it had like the typical like MOBA-esque maps, but also had kind of like a free for all like team deathmatch like thing, and it was cool, and it ran like as well as I could ever expect my computer to run that game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it ran better than I thought, and in League it was physically impossible to play that game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I think it's a fair comparison too, because again, you have like, um, just Overwatch is just like it's such a graphically intensive game if you think about it, because you've got six characters per team, so 12 characters in total.
yep.
Like you've got um, and if you think about like not everyone's weapon is just like a straight like shooting like calculated projectile thing. Like
Yeah.
Junkrat's explosives have to like bounce and arc. You
Yeah.
have like let's see, trying to think here. You've got like a million shields going up from Orisa, and then like especially during Total Mayhem where everything is just like doubled in terms of like what's going on. Like it is true chaos, and yet I've still never had like very few, if at all, like lag issues with just like everything trying to calculate stuff. And again, like that's a tribute to like their attention to like quality settings, which is really cool. But I was even playing it on my friend. I was at my friend's from work's house like 2 weeks ago, and we were all playing Overwatch on PS4. And again, like it looks very impressive on that, and I was trying to play with the controller and like just doing awful because controller. But like again, it looks just as good on PS4 with like as epic settings, which is very cool that they're able to like keep it consistent. Obviously, PS4 is very powerful compared to like what they used to have PS3 and stuff, but it's still like it's great what kind of like consistent quality they can get no matter what like computer you're playing on. Again, I realized recently that my old computer is actually all a solid state drive, which if you don't know, like lets you run games a little bit better because it's like solid state or whatever. Which is probably why I've been able to play so many things that I thought I couldn't. But again, like no matter what, like this has been running way much better than like League ever did, even when I was had a good Wi-Fi connection and had a decent when it wasn't quite as old and stuff like that. So
yeah, when your computer was like brand new, right?
Yeah, it was still kind of like.
And they still couldn't run League.
Yeah, I just had a hard time here and there. But again, like the fact that I'm able to play a game like Overwatch on a computer like this, on an integrated HD graphics card for Intel is quite impressive for me at least.
Yeah. I'm actually like, now that you brought that up, like how you had issues with League, but then we're pretty fine with Overwatch on a lower setting, is just blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, because like it's such a there's so much going on in that game. It's just incredible to think how like it's able to process all this stuff, especially on Total Mayhem. Like there's so many moments where like there's so much shit going on. It's like there's no way my computer should be able to handle this. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure my computer got like more hot playing League than it ever did like playing Overwatch.
I would just love to see the code that was written to like optimize like calculations and all that for it to run this smoothly, and not like, okay, time for the big area where everyone is, oh, look at that number, it's dropping real fast. Yeah. Like I want to see this code. Like I want to talk to the person like, how did you do this? And like who did you sell your soul to be able to do this?
Yeah, to get this level of stuff. Yeah, I really want to get Nathan to drop League and start playing this with us, honestly, because I think he would enjoy some of this a little more better. What's that?
You would have more fun playing Overwatch with
us. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's way more better. And actually, that segues maybe to like the last point we could bring up. But I was listening to a podcast where they're talking about this. But obviously the draw of League is that it's free to play, and you don't really need to buy anything. Could you ever see them making Overwatch free at some point and then compensating everyone who bought it, kind of thing?
Not really. No. Because with their other games, like you have World of Warcraft, you have Diablo, you have StarCraft. Those are all kind of like games you kind of buy into.
Mm-hmm. Wait, is World of Warcraft subscription based? Do you know?
Yes.
It is.
Yes, okay. It is. You get you have a free trial for like a certain amount of time, or if you reach a certain level or something. But then you have to pay monthly.
Oh, okay.
So their system has always been kind of a paid system to play, and I think this is one of the first games. Like, I'm not 100% sure because I'm not too familiar with StarCraft or Diablo, but like, I'm fairly certain those are also subscription. But you also have to buy the base game too, maybe, and. So they've been more focused on you spend money to play this game, kind of thing. So I don't see them changing that model. Granted, they do have Hearthstone, which is free to play, and you can spend money to buy packs of cards. But that's because like a game like Hearthstone, it's kind of just almost like a license to print money kind of thing. Like they're not really losing too much on it.
Right.
With like art and programming, like they have to update it for the new cards to be able to do this, that, and the other thing, but it's not as like the changes aren't as drastic as for like World of Warcraft or especially Overwatch.
Yeah.
So for a model like Hearthstone, it makes sense for it to be like, oh, it's free, but you can pay money if you want. I say that Overwatch is probably going to stay like you pay your money once and then you can play forever kind of deal. And they're probably going to do like free weekends or like whatnot. And then like for if you already bought the game, it's like a double XP weekend to reward, to say thank you to the people who already bought the game and to say welcome to the people who have shown interest in this game. So I say that they wouldn't consider it, but I think they might make some other games in the future that are more like that model.
Yeah.
Like, oh, isn't like Heroes of the Storm? Everyone forgets about Heroes of the Storm because it's Heroes of the Storm. Like that is kind of their way of doing that whole like, oh well, the game's free, but you can buy the characters if you want, or you can just play for as little as you can just to get whatever like perks you'll get, like a special skin or loot boxes for Overwatch.
Right.
So they might in the future, like, Heroes of the Storm was kind of like a hit and miss. Like, some people like it. I played a little bit of Heroes of the Storm, and oh man, did I like it more than League.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I could play with exclusively bots.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the greatest feeling in the world. And I actually kind of knew what I was doing, too. So I had a better understanding. It wasn't, like, a really steep learning curve for me. So I enjoyed that game. I haven't played it forever, but like I enjoyed playing it. So I could see them in the future maybe incorporating more like smaller games with that model of free and then pay for what you want. But for now, I think Overwatch is going to stay a very traditional shooter where you pay money once and then you play forever, and keep it as like the extra money from it will be from like loot boxes for skins and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. So yeah, is that everything about Overwatch, you think, or is there some other topic still in your mind?
Well, just like, just one statement. Blizzard, if you're ever going to listen to this, please make more merch, especially for Junkrat. He has a single shirt that has taken like almost an entire year for you to give him a shirt. He deserves more than that. Mercy deserves more than that. So many of your characters deserve more merch. Please. We're dying out here. If you make like a really cool, like if you made like a Junkrat plushie somehow, I would buy it instantly. He would be my best friend because I love him dearly.
Yeah, I could definitely buy some like figures of Overwatch characters for sure. I think.
Or just figures like pop figures. I like them, but not a lot of people like them. But make figures, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Especially of Junkrat.
Sell out, please. Just sell out.
Please just make merchandise. We'll buy it. Like, please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
I need merch.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So I guess that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. If you're still doing so, and I'm not sure where our next one will be. We'll have to think about it, but
we'll figure it out then.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll get these out pretty soon. So this will be like, a week or two since we recorded it, but. Yeah, look forward to more, and we'll see you guys another time. All right.
Bye-bye.
Press that stop button.